Hello YouTubers. Hello YouTubers. Joe Kersey here on June 30th at about more accurately 1600 in the afternoon Eastern Daylight Time. Now Paul has got this magnificent tool that his brother, his now sadly dead brother, gave us. The same year he gave us this, he also gave one to Paul's dad, the identical one. And it's as you can see, it's a tree trimmer device, tree pruner device. That blade on the end of it can be removed, and you've got the the nipper function with the rope and so forth, and he had been out here doing a little bit of grapevine work in these trees earlier today. And after a fairly extended nap here this afternoon, has decided to come out and do some more. There's a particularly egregious one that seems to be snaking up from an area that is somewhat proving to be difficult to get, but I dare say Paul might nail this. He's pretty good in these matters, and that's just so he doesn't fall over the deck. I'd hate to have to go testify in the grand jury about how this happened. Well, nobody wants to go testify in the grand jury. I'll tell you, it's interesting. The grapevines he had cut the sort of the nourishment things to earlier today.
Glowing dead.
Well, they're pretty much already dead. I mean, they're wilted and so forth. I'm not going to get over there and show them to you right now because that would put me in the line of fire here with this large pole. Meanwhile, Paul's been down. He did some laundry today, and our newly repaired washing machine seemed to work just fine, so that's good. So we got to pass over that. I'm still running the light in the tub, though. What's sweet?
I think I got it.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that'd be great. Oh, absolutely, that'll be great. I like the way he's very careful about trying to keep that cord out of, entanglement's way when you try to use it, because I'm very bad about that. I just sort of generally just let it flop around. I did that. I used this thing last year to cut down some of this big ass mulberry tree stuff down at the end of the driveway and the archway effect, and I may even do that a little later this week here, depending on how the spirit moves me. But Paul wants to be very careful and aggressive about stuff he can be. I just realized we got about 4 minutes of video of Paul's behind here. Now Paul seems to think that he's actually triumphed over this these things here. Let me actually show you what he's looking at as opposed to his behind here. It's really hard to tell. I mean, you really can't see anything in this little jumbled mess of what I'm showing you, but
I'm after this shit.
well, yes,
I'm
it's
having a blanket effect, killing the damn.
yeah. The wild grapevines are just god awful around here sometimes, and they do.
This will kill and smother the tree.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they generally sometimes are thought to do that, and often they do that. Now, let me show you though something that he did earlier today. See all that wilted stuff up there? See those wilted grapevines? Those are all very robust things that you very much like the ones he just showed you. But in the last 3 hours, these things have completely wilted. So it's an interesting plant, these wild grapevines.
I even cut the one off down there. That sucker grows grapes.
Well, no, they do, and in fact, when the settlers came here originally, they would use those grapes, although they were very bitter, to make wine. But I suppose it's like prisoners in the prison; they'll ferment anything they get their hands on, and
Well, anyway, I cut that one off. Been going up forever in that oak tree.
well, it's not an oak tree; it's a maple tree, but
Oh, well.
yeah. That's all right. I'm not going to be a pissant about that.
I've always called it an oak.
I know. I mean, yes, there's always been a certain problem with species identification about trees, but that's okay. You take care of them, so it doesn't matter.
I try.
Well, yes, you do, and you do a very nice job too. Now, what should I talk to you about today? Here, let me just check something out. It's okay. As y'all know, who actually bother to watch these, I mean, in theory, 37 people may be watching these on a regular basis, but in reality, I know on a good day I may get 11 or 12 or 20 at the most. And I'm very grateful for that, by the way. I'm not pissing and moaning about that. But, in the ongoing saga of Joe, and just the way life works around here, there hasn't been too much development today. No, not too much development. Probably just as well, too, actually. We did get a fairly early start, though, didn't we? I was up about 5:30, and you were up about 7:15. Yeah.
Thought it was later.
Well, yeah. Well, it's summertime. It always feels later, doesn't it? You metastasized back into bed at around 11. Well, after. Well, about 1 after you sort of went in to do computer stuff and basically then fell asleep in front of your computer. And so you got up here about half hour, 45 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So that's, well, that's a bit liberal. It's more like, yeah, but yeah. So that's the day here, guys. I've been reading. I've actually been reading. I read in the Philip Jenkins book about religious hysteria surrounding the First World War. So I did about 100 more pages than that today. So I've not been a complete intellectual toad. I may go out and have a little word with you here in a few minutes. Well, I'm going to sound idiotic for a moment here. That's the way it goes. I know it's dark. It's not all that dark, actually, as a topic. But then we'll go out. Yeah, you haven't seen the front yard here for a while anyway, so you guys need to see that. And you can hear all the beeps from all of the back end loaders backing up down there where they're doing construction here about 3/4 of a mile south of us. I mean, I understand why they got to have audible beeps on the work site. I don't know if it has to be audible for one or mile and a half radius, but that's what they tend to do. That's what they tend to do. One thing I was going to say was I didn't want to just leave this sort of relationship with my young friend hanging out in the breeze. And it occurred to me that he may not have, it may well be he didn't want to just, it may well be it wasn't that he didn't want to see me, it may well be that he was sick or was having some sort of problem, you know, and so I emailed him, we should see if I hear back, but the email basically was, well, I hope you're okay, you know. Didn't get hold of something you didn't need to get hold of, and that you're okay. We'll see. I want to still be friends. I do. There were about 4 or 5 older guys that helped me along the way when I was younger. And, it'd be fun to still be friends. Well, we'll see. Okay, well, that's it. I'll give you a view of the archway here now, down into the drive. Awful pretty. Don't be driving in something that's got a very shallow draft though, because you're going to bottom out. Ha! Alrighty, bye-bye.